All right, you guys, before I get into Rampage, I have to say that I am coming up on almost a year of doing these reviews. Now, I've been started doing reviews before January, but I started doing AEW reviews, Ring of Honor, and PLE reviews earlier this year. And one of my New Year's resolution was to do something that I love to do consistently, and I've actually done that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, here and there I have felt discouraged about doing these videos, but I know there are some of you guys out there that actually look forward to hearing my reviews, and something like that is enough for me to keep doing these things. And plus, it's fun. So with it almost being a year, I do want to start doing new stuff and engaging with people on my channel and stuff like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to going at things in a newer approach in the next few months. So if you have been sticking around with me and enjoying my reviews, thank you so much. Now let's talk about Rampage. All right, you guys, we had Rocky Romero versus Mystico. Now, AEW has signed some type of allyship with CMLL. So we have two of these CMLL champions battling out on Rampage on a 2 out of 3 falls match. And basically, it's battle of the champion. So I guess whoever is a better champion will end up taking the win. What I really liked about this match is how we had Rocky Romero who comes out and he's a baby face, but the second he gets into this match, he's a heel. And I love when a wrestler is able to turn that off in a blink of an eye. You guys know Rocky, he's always rolling around with best friends, Orange Cassidy and them. So he's always looked at as a baby face, but this time we saw him in a different light compared to how we normally see him in Ring of Honor and AEW. Now, it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. So I'm thinking, all right, Mystico's going to take this win, but we're going to get a great match. Now, you get to see the Luchadores Libre style with Mystico, and you get to see the same from Rocky, but he has a technical style with him himself. So he's very versatile in the ring and he can work well with pretty much any style. And I really enjoy watching his matches because he's so versatile. So this was a really fun match and the audience was really engaged with this. Now, Mexico takes the first fall. And then Rocky takes the second. And I think it was apparent that Mystico was going to take the next one, which he actually does and ends up winning the match. So I just feel like we got a chance to really see a lot of versatility in this match, and both guys still sticking to their styles, which made things really, really fun. So I know we're going to see Mystico more often and other wrestlers at CMLL as well. I would definitely love to see them getting into situations with other AAA wrestlers like El Hijo de Vikingo, Commander. Love to see them in some type of situation with the Lucha Brothers. That would be really, really fun. But while we got that type of partnership, I keep thinking that at one point are we going to hear a partnership with Impact Wrestling? I think that would be really great for both AEW and Impact if they were to do that. Impact works with New Japan, and they tend to have like pay-per-views together, like those multiverse pay-per-views and whatnot. And then we have AEW, who is, opening the doors and working with other promotions. But I think that there will be something special if they were to open the doors for Impact Wrestling as well. So I'm hoping we get a chance to see that. But we did get the match of the night first. And from there, everything was decent. So it wasn't really a bad night. So up next, we have Stokely Hathaway. He's backstage with Eddie Kingston and Jay Lethal and friends. And Jay Lethal is like, look, with the reputation I have had in Ring of Honor, there's no reason why I need to prove myself in terms of going for the world title. And to be honest, I see where he's coming from. I think he has a point. Now, Jay Lethal looks at Eddie Kingston and he goes, the only reason why you wanted that title is because Homicide had that title. And ever since you won that title, you ain't do a damn thing with it. And once again, I'm kind of agreeing with him here because I haven't seen anything of importance with Eddie Kingston since he's won that title. Matter of fact, he's kind of busy. Now, Eddie Kingston is upset that Jay Lethal even uttered the name Homicide, and he's all in his face. And we have Stokely Hathaway, who's between them, and he's smiling from ear to ear, looking like a freaking devil. Like, he's just so happy that he's instigating some drama here. Now, for whatever reason, just when I'm thinking that Stokely is going to announce, like on Ring of Honor, or maybe I don't know, Collision or something, we're going to see Jay Lethal versus Eddie Kingston. We get actually Jeff Jarrett versus Eddie Kingston. If Jeff Jarrett can beat Eddie Kingston, then Jay Lethal gets an opportunity to go against Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor World Title. Am I against that? Not really, but I guess it's still Jay Lethal having to have to use his friends in order to earn that spot. So I guess his argument didn't really help him. But either way, we're gonna get Jeff Jarrett versus Eddie Kingston on Collision. They're gonna be in Memphis, so that's gonna be interesting. And I hope there's not gonna be any ringside interference. So up next, we had a triple threat match with Brother Zay, Kip Sapien, and John Silver. Now, surprise, surprise, Brother Zay comes out alone, so no Hardys, but we do have the Dark Order joining John Silver. And then we have the Butcher and the Blade and Penelope with Kip Sapien, so that was interesting to see. Now, I did enjoy this match. The person who wins this match actually gets a chance to go against Orange Cassidy for the international title at Battle of the Belts. That will be after Collision tomorrow night. So, looking at this, I actually was thinking, oh, I actually would prefer to see Kip versus Orange Cassidy, but I'm kind of thinking we saw that during Orange Cassidy title reign. I'm not 100% sure. So then I think perhaps maybe Isaiah Cassidy would have been something different compared to the other two guys in the ring. Now, while I did think this was fun, I kind of was like, well, how did these three guys earn this match to be able to go against Orange Cassidy? Sometimes things just feel a little bit too randomly put together rather than people actually earning their way to getting opportunities. I wish they show stuff like that because that adds to the story instead of putting random shit together. Surprise, surprise, John Silver takes the win. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest with you. Um, it just felt a little bit lazy at the end. It just felt like, oh, right, John knew he was going to win. So I don't know. I just didn't really care about it. But that's the match we're going to get at Battle of the Belts tomorrow night. I saw the card for Collision and for Battle of the Belts. So it looks like we're going to have a really good night tomorrow night. But this match was all right. So this one I felt slightly underwhelmed about the result from the match before. Shit got worse. So here we have Santana and Ortiz. They have a video promo thing, and I'm just looking at them and I'm like, they're giving it to me Brooklyn style, and I love it. Now, after they talk about whatever they're talking about, here comes Ortiz saying that we need to handle this shit in Philly. And I'm like, Philly? And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me get my calendar. Let me see when they're going back to New York. That would have been really, really cool if it was one of those type of situations. But then when they mentioned Philly, then I'm like, when is that? You guys, Philly is next fucking Friday, Rampage. And I could not believe it when they confirmed it by showing the graphic of them having their match on Rampage. Wasn't I just saying that it didn't make sense for them to be doing all of this on Rampage? They've been doing all the promos on Rampage, and for them to have the match there, I'm like, this is like one of the better stories that you guys got going on, and y'all throwing it on a Friday night where people just don't give a fuck. Put it on Collision at least if you're not going to put it on the pay-per-view. I thought they was going to push this through until Full Gear, and for whatever reason, they're making this happen on Rampage. Are you guys kidding? They could have pushed this story out for a little bit longer, have a little bit of things going on in between the story up until at least Full Gear, and this would have been something really, really great. And I just feel like they're dropping the ball on it by putting it on Rampage. Now I'm thinking maybe they put it on Rampage and something happened that makes this thing continues. I guess. I don't know. But I would not have wasted their first match on a fucking Friday night on Rampage. It is so disappointing. Tony Khan, what the fuck are you doing? Up next, we had a squash match with Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli versus Exodus Prime and Brian Keith. Now, this was quick, and Wheeler Yuta ends up pinning Exodus Prime, which I found to be interesting because it was not Brian Keith. He's someone that I'm going to actually talk a little bit more at length about in another video I'm going to be doing probably later on today or tomorrow. So I kind of find that to be interesting because he's someone that I think that AEW may end up signing at some point if WWE don't get to him first. But this was a squash match and felt completely unnecessary. Now, Claudio and Wheeler do have a match with Big Bill and Ricky Starks on Collision. So this was basically a warm up for them. And honestly, yeah, I didn't really care about this. So up next, we have Renee Paquette. She's backstage with the former members of the Jericho Appreciation Society, and they've been bickering and fighting. Matt Menard does not like Daniel Garcia doing that thrusting dance or whatever. Now, honestly, I really don't care about it, but I can see that he's putting in the work in the pelvic area, so that I can appreciate. Now, everyone's really upset because they're not all on the same page. They have a trios match with the Acclaim and Daddy Ass on Collision, and they really want to win the title. And if they're not on the same page, that's not going to happen. And here's Jake Hager saying, I did not give up that purple hat for all this bullshit. And he leaves. And I'm just like, you know what? I totally get you. I love wearing purple too. Now, Matt Menard, he apologizes to Daniel Garcia, and he says, I hate the stupid dance that you do, but I love you, Daniel. And they shake hands, and it looks like they're going to be on the same page on Saturday night. But something tells me that this is probably going to be the last time we're going to see Daniel Garcia with this group. And if that's the case, I'm all in for it. Up next, we have Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks. They are issuing a challenge for the 6-man tag titles and basically just letting know if y'all got the balls to go against us, come and fight us on Dynamite next week. And I'm just like, Dynamite? What? Y'all got the Ring of Honor titles or the AEW Trios title? I am absolutely annoyed with the whole Ring of Honor title thing. Almost no one is defending the titles. Only Athena and Shibata are the only ones in Ring of Honor with titles that are actually defending them in Ring of Honor. It makes absolutely no sense. Before I go on a whole rage about it, let me move on. They do end up confirming that the match we're going to get for the 6-man titles is going to be the Young Bucks and Adam versus the Hardys and Brother Zay. I don't want to see that shit. Nobody wants to see that shit. All right, you guys, main event time. Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue. Ruby, Saraya, wherever y'all shop, please take me with you. I need some new clothes. Well, okay, I don't need any new clothes, but I would like to have more clothes in my wardrobe. I thought it was really, really surprising to see that Sky Blue is, I guess, turning to the dark side, but then she had on a Scooby-Doo inspired gear on. I don't know if that's supposed to be a clever thing or if that's supposed to be a bad move, but I think like the colors were a little bit too cheery for what we're going for with her character change right now. Anyway, she still had the whole eye makeup, and I do feel like it was a little bit more dramatic like last week compared to this week. So there's a little bit of a change with that. They have a really great, decent match. And honestly, I'm really happy to see Ruby because I feel like we haven't seen her since the tournament. It's been a minute. Now, Ruby does end up taking the win here. And I'm thinking that that's okay. Sky Blue is probably going to be able to turn heel because of all these losses that she's been having recently. So I'm not necessarily bothered by that. Now, what ends up happening is Saraya and Ruby, they attack her. And I'm thinking Willow Nightingale is going to come and save the day. But instead, it's Chris Statlander. She comes out. She helps Sky Blue. But Sky Blue actually don't want no help from her. She don't even want her to touch her. And she ends up rolling out the ring, leaving. And everybody's wondering what the hell is going on with Sky Blue. I'm liking where they're going. Sometimes just don't feel so clear, but we'll definitely get a chance to see where they're going. I think maybe tomorrow night things will play out a little bit more too, because we do have Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale for the TBS title. So we'll see what's going on with Willow as well, since she did get missed by Julia Hart as well. Either way, it was a decent show. I know we're going to get much better tomorrow on Collision and Battle of the Belts. So I'll be back with a review on those shows tomorrow night. So I'll see you then. Bye.